Hello guys and welcome back to another episode. So today we're going to talk about Enhancement Shamans, and it's going to be a PvE guide. So we're going through stats, talents, rotation, tips and tricks, and probably some Azerite traits. So we're going to cover 5 things. So welcome to the PvE guide. So the first thing we could cover is the stats, but before I talk about the stats, I would just say that Enhancement Shaman is a quite funny DPS. They have great animations, so you like great animations, like very nice looking spells. Enhancement is very nice looking DPS. I mean, all this lightning you're doing, all the swing you're doing, the moving animations. So Enhancement is a virtual, much nice. For the damage done at the moment, I will not really comment on how good they are, because class tuning is coming a lot for shamans, so shamans will see a big class tuning coming. But enough about that, let's go to the business. So stats. So the important thing for Enhancement Shamans first of all is, let me see, haste. So your main trait is haste, and the only reason for why you want haste is because you want an additional auto attack and a global cooldown. So you can see every time I use a spell, like in this case you can see it triggers a global cooldown. With 21% haste you actually get a free extra, well, you can say on 15 seconds. So if you are damaging for 15 seconds total, 15 seconds, you get an additional free global cooldown. That means in those 15 seconds you could actually use another spell that you could use without 21% haste. So 21% haste is the limit that you should try to aim for. Remember, still eye level is still the most important thing in Battle for Azeroth. So always go for the item that is highest eye level, but after eye level it's haste. So if you have 2 items with same eye level, one with facility, one with haste, always take haste, because you want that 21%. After the 21%, you can begin to focus on crit or vitality. Crit and vitality is the same, it's both good, and you can say the most stat you don't want is mastery, because passive you already have a lot of mastery. So your mastery is already quite big, and your mastery is not that great too. I mean, it helps you to trigger Stormbringer, but as you can see right now, I have 35%, and my Stormbringer only increased the chance to trigger Stormbringer and Inferi by 1.38. So it's not that big. So go for haste until you get 21%. Of course, if you get more haste than 21%, then you will just have quicker attacks, but it will not impact your global cooldown that much. So go for haste to 21%, then go for crit and vitality, and go for mastery. And of course, a guilty and eye level is your major. So eye level and intellect. Why do I keep saying intellect? Eye level and agility, haste to 21%, crit and vitality, mastery. Boom. That's the stats. Now about the talents. So for example, when I play some other specs, some of the talents are very variable, and in this case you should take this talent, in this case you should take this talent. But as Enhancement Shaman, it's quite much more easier, because some of the talents are so dominant that you cannot choose, you have to choose that one because it's so dominant. So let's go through the first row. So Hot Hand is a spell that talent that will only help you on single targets. Lightning Shield also help you on single target and also on, you can say, AoE splash damage. Everyone is suggesting or recommending on websites also you take Lightning Shield, because Lightning Shield is the most variable and it doesn't change your rotation. You don't have to think about any different rotation or anything. So Lightning Shield, also the damage it actually deals, Lightning Shield deals more damage. So you can take Hot Hand if you really like Hot Hand, but I will recommend, and I know I also recommend, Lightning Shield is number 1 in first row. Boulder Fist is not worth at all, so forget about that talent. Hot Hand can be used if you really like, but Lightning Shield is the most recommended, and you don't have to think about using another rotation. Because Hot Hand can proc sometimes, and it's very important you use your free Hot Hand, that is your free level lash, instead of just having a Lightning Shield out on you, and it will deal more damage for you passively. Boom. The next one here down here, Forceful Winds, is dominating so much in this row. It's dealing a lot more damage. It procs also with your AoE, it procs with your Crash Lightning also, so it's so much better to use Forceful Winds because it will increase your damage on single target and it will increase your damage on multiple targets. So Forceful Winds is the favorite choice here. Totem Mastery is not worth at all, keep it away. Landslide, it can be used, but it's not recommended. I would not recommend it too. It's your Storm Strike, don't worry, you will be using enough Storm Strikes, so Forceful Winds will probably be better. So as I can also read for you, Windfury costs each 6 of your Windfury attack within 15 seconds to increase damage of Windfury by 100% and the Maelstrom generated by 1, staying up to 5 times. So this one here is so worth that I would just say stick with it. But you can also go with Landslide if you want to have more. Rockbite has 20% chance to increase damage of next Storm Strike. Don't worry about that. It's already now, as you can see, Enhancement Shamans, Storm Stringer here, Windfury here, and your Enhancement Mastery. Everything here is RNG. It's random procs. You don't want another random proc here. Just stick with Forceful Winds that will increase the damage you deal passively. Boom. And you don't have to think about the rotation change. The next one here is up to you. Personally, I will go for Earth Shield and help out your healer. Help the healer, because in Mythic Dungeons it can be really hard to heal. I mainly heal in Mythic Dungeons and it can be hard. So if I had an Enhancement Shaman that could give the tank Earth Shield, I will hug him and kiss him. So go for the Earth Shield, help you out your healer. Spirit Wolf and Static Charge, don't take those. The next one down here, also again, Searing Assault is dominating so much. It's dominating on each side. It's dealing so much more damage that it's only worth to take. Hailstorm is changing your rotation very much, so you have to use Frostbrand in your rotation, and it's wasting a global cooldown that you could use on your other spells that will deal more damage. So Hailstorm is not offensive, not very good to take, and Overcharge is not dealing enough damage, so it's worth, because Lightning, well, Overcharge is changing your rotation very much, so you have to put your resources in different places, and it's how much energy and focus you have to use on it. It's not worth the damage at all. So Searing Assault, again, you don't have to think about any rotation changing. It deals more damage, and it also just keeps you at the standard rotation. So Searing Assault is the favorite one. So keep it that. So with Lightning Shield, Forceful Winds and Searing Assault, you are so ready to go. The next row here down again is really doesn't matter, because Feral Launch doesn't deal any good damage, so you don't want to waste a global cooldown on it. Of course it can help you if you want to charge to the boss because you got away from him. Renrush Totem can help all your party members running faster. So again, it's up to you if you want to help your team running faster, or if you want to charge the boss but use a global cooldown, a bit of waste. And Enhancement Shaman is really focused on global cooldowns. That's also why you have the 21% haste cap. In my case, I would probably just take Nature's Guardian, because if I bring low down on health, I would heal myself up, and again help the healer. So with Earth Shield and Nature's Guardian, you're helping the healer a lot, and I would love to have an Enhancement Shaman in my group with those two talents. So keep it with Earth Shield and Nature's Guardian, and I would say everything is fine. Down here we have Fury of Air, that is not dealing enough damage, so it's not worth to take, and it uses too much energy from your Maelstrom. So don't take Fury of Air. Sundering and Crashing Storm is almost same good, but Sundering is overall dealing more damage, and Sundering is very good on single target and on trash mobs. So why take Crashing Storm that only helps on trash mobs when you can actually take Sundering that is excellent for bosses and trash mobs? So you can't argue with that. So Sundering here is the big king, and I would always suggest it. So now I probably, as you can hear the talents here, normally in my guides I kind of give you different choices, but here you kind of needed to take these choices. Well, I'm just saying what I've learned and what I have also learned from others, and so on, so on, so on. But in the last row down here, it's actually up to you what you want, because Elemental Spirits and Ascendance is actually quite good. Both they are on the same level, I would say. Elemental Spirit, Ascendance, and Earthen Spike down here. But Ascendance, Elemental Spirits are both very good, because Ascendant has a cooldown on 3 minutes, Elemental Spirit has a cooldown on 1.5 minutes. That means Ascendant will only be used one time each 3 minutes. Of course, you also have your Feral Spirit you can use together with Ascendance, but Elemental Spirits is increasing your Feral Spirits so much more damage that it's very you can say needed to take. So here's the thing that you have to think about when you choose about these two talents is Ascendant has a cooldown of 3 minutes. That means if you're playing against a boss that will die, let's say in 2 minutes or 1 minute, then Ascendant is actually quite better than Elemental Spirit, because as it's a bit hard to decision, because let's say you're going to a Mythic Dungeon and you're expecting the boss will die in for the next 2 minutes. Then Ascendant is really good, because you can use it one time and the boss will die and it will probably be ready for the next boss. Elemental Spirits in that case is only 1.5 minute cooldown, but you only have the Wolf for 15 seconds and you have Ascendant also for 50 seconds. So it's like, do you want a good cooldown on only 1.5 minutes, or do you want a cool cooldown on 3 minutes? If the boss takes 2 minutes, you can actually use Elemental Spirits 2 times. So I would probably say in Mythics, I would probably go with Feral Spirits. And also a little detail I forgot is that it reduced the cooldown of Feral Spirits by 30 seconds. That means the Feral Spirits will only have 1 minute cooldown. So on a boss fight that takes 3 minutes, you can use Ascendance 1 time, and you can use Feral Spirits 3 times. So it's like Ascendance has the best burst overall, but you can only use Ascendance 1 time over 3 minutes, and Elemental Spirits and Feral Spirits can be used 3 times because it reduces the cooldown and it makes it so much stronger. So it's like, personally I would play with Elemental Spirits because it doesn't change your rotation. You don't have to use an extra spell. You don't have to put down an extra spell down here in your nice action bars. You can just keep Elemental Spirit and get very strong Elemental Spirits. And you can see the lightning right now. A little change of what I said is actually it has 1.5 minute cooldown already with the talents, because of course I have the talents on right now, so it's 1.5. But again, that's just saying that over 3 minutes you can use Elemental Spirits 2 times, and Ascendant you can use 1 time. So it's like, yeah. But the experts say that Ascendant deals more damage in the total burst, but you can use Elemental Spirit 2 times on 1 Ascendance, so it's probably going to be the same. So it's up to you if you want to have Elemental Spirits or Ascendance. It's pretty much up to you, but I will go personally with Elemental Spirits. Earthen Spike is just another spell with another cooldown, with another damage, with another global cooldown, so I would not take Earthen Spike at all. I will keep it for either Ascendance or Elemental Spirit. But as you can see right now on the screen, this would be my perfect build for dungeons or raids. I will take this talents with no questions. So guys, that was the stats we just go through. This is the talents. Let's now go out and look on the rotations. Just have to walk about. Okay, here we go. So here we have the boss. So here you can see Raider's training dummy, he's standing there. So the first thing you want to do is you always want to start with your flame tongue. So now I have my fire damage on my weapons. So every time I deal melee damage, I deal damage with fire also. And it also applies the damage over time effect because of my Searing Assault. So you can see up here, it deals fire damage every second. So even if I get away from him, I will deal damage over time when it's on. It's only on for 6 seconds. So it has 11 seconds cooldown. So after 6 seconds it will be disappearing and you will not have it anymore. So when you go into a dungeon on a boss or raid boss or dungeon boss, you always want to start with using Flame Tongue and then Feral Spirits. So Flame Tongue, Feral Spirits, then you want to proc Storm Strike if you have a lot of Storm Strike. Every time you can use Storm Strike you want out with it, so you can see right now it procs all the time. I just used Storm Strike 4 times in a row. So every time you can use Storm Strike, use it. Use it, use it, use it. You always want to prioritize Storm Strike. And then every time, you can see up here, Flame Tongue is kind of going off. You can see right now I have it for 10 seconds more. When it's have 4 seconds left, you want to use Flame Tongue again. And that's exactly when it's actually ready again. So you could say every time Flame Tongue is ready, use it. Use it, use it, use it. So every time Flame Tongue is ready, and every time you can use Storm Strike, spam those 2 abilities. They're like a must and a need for you. So spam Flame Tongue, spam Storm Strike. Every time you let's say now I have used Storm Strike and I have used Flame Tongue and I have nothing to do. If I'm over 60 Maelstrom, you want to use Lava Lash. So now I will spam Lava Lash, and now I don't have any more Maelstrom, so I cannot use Lava Lash anymore. Imagine now that I cannot use Flame Tongue, I cannot use Storm Strike, because both of them are on cooldowns. Then you would use Rock Biter, but you only want to use Rock Biter if you are below 70 Maelstrom. Don't really think about the numbers I'm saying, but it's just like, 70, 80, because if you are above 70 or 80, you will not get the maximum of your Maelstrom. You will then waste how much Maelstrom you actually get. So if we take it from the scratch again, use your Flame Tongue, use your Feral Spirits. Now I don't have enough Maelstrom, so I have to use my Rock Biter, spam Storm Strike, out with my Lava Lash because I don't have anything else to do. Oh, my Flame Tongue is ready again. Lava Lash, Storm Strike, Lava Lash, Lava Lash, Lava Lash. Oh, no Maelstrom anymore. Rock Biter, Flame Tongue is ready again. Storm Strike is ready. Rock Biter, Lava Lash. And when you hear me talk about the rotation, it can maybe sound stressing, but at all I don't think that's stressing, because what I really have to do easy, I just have to use my Flame Tongue every time I can. I have to use my Storm Strike every time I can, and when I cannot use Storm Strike or Flame Tongue, I will use my Lava Lash, but if I can't use Lava Lash, I will just use Rock Biter. So it's pretty simple. I would say it's a pretty simple rotation. If you're playing against a trash pack with let's see, what is it saying? If it's hitting more than 2 targets. So if it's more than 2 targets and then you have to use your Crash Lightning. So it's AoE, so Crash Lightning. If it's more than 2 targets, then what is it? Yeah. If there's more than 2 targets here, I think it actually works over here. Have you used it here? Yeah, there I got it. Here. Storm Strike and Lava Lash deal additional damage to all the targets in front of you. That means if there's more than 2 targets and you use Crash Lightning, then what was it? Storm Strike and Lava Lash will now deal damage to everyone in front of you. So that means if there's a lot of monsters in the pack group, or just a boss where you have to cleave 2, or in a good example, let's say Warcraft Manor, the first boss is the 3 witches, you would use Crash Lightning, so you attack them all, and then you could say every time you use Storm Strike or Lava Lash, you will attack them both. So use Crash Lightning every time there's more than 2 targets, or 2 plus, but don't use it if there's not 2 targets, because it's not worth. So save the Maelstrom, don't ever use Crash Lightning. Another important little thing is, if you have talent into Sundering, use Sundering every time you can, because it has a 40-second cooldown, so it's very important you just get it off and use it, because let's say Storm Strike here deals 5000 damage, but my Sundering deals 9000 damage, so Sundering is a very nice burst and it deals like 2 times the Storm Strike. And now in 40 seconds I can just do anything else and wait for my Storm Strike to be ready, Sundering to be ready again. So really don't hope that the rotation here has confused you. You basically just have to use Flame Tongue, Storm Strike every time you can. You use Lava Lash if Flame Tongue and Storm Strike is on cooldown and you have Maelstrom. If you don't have Maelstrom, use Rockbiter when you cannot use Flame Tongue or Storm Strike. And of course use Feral Spells all the time and use Sundering all the time. And only use Crash Lightning if there's more than 2 targets, because it deals good AoE damage, and make sure Storm Strike and Lava Lash also deal AoE damage. And just a tip, keep up, if you're talented, keep up your Lightning Shield all the time. Don't refresh it, because as you just saw I have 11 stacks on it, so don't refresh it in a boss fight or anything, only refresh it if it has 1 minute back or something, because every time I use my spells it can stack up on the shield, and when it goes to a lot of stacks, you can see now 3 stacks, when it goes to how many stacks was it? When it goes to at 20 charges, the shield overcharge causes you to deal 200 damage with each attack and generate 100 Maelstrom over 10 seconds. So it's going crazy when you go to 20 charge. So it's very important you don't spam Lightning Shield on a boss, because then you lose the charges. Another tip you can do is Earth Elemental. Earth Elemental is great for damaging on the bosses or damaging on the trash mobs. I know it will take off the aggro from the tank, but trust me, in a mythic dungeon, the tank would like to lose some aggro to a pet, because the healer can relax, get some mana, and the tank can focus on building up some procs. So don't be scared of using Earth Elemental or trash mobs. It's great, but personally I would save it for the bosses so you can have some extra DPS. I guess this Earth Elemental will probably give you 10-20% more damage, and that's quite a lot. So, and of course if you're close to wiping on a trash mob, you could also use it for helping your tank out on trash mobs. For Azerite talents, there's quite different Azerite talents. Melee attacks with Flame Tongue active increase the damage target takes from the next Lava Lash, stacking up to 10 times. I mean, if you can stack 3 of those items with this stack on, you can really get an insane Lava Lash that deals a lot of damage. But the problem is you don't really want to save your Lava Lash, you want to use it every time you don't have anything else to do. So it can be up and bad and good. Which one else has that we could use? No, not really. I also googled it before which one was actually recommended. This one here is one of my favorites. Which one? This one here. every time you deal damage you have chance for, maybe you saw sometimes those 2 orbs flying up on my ears and attacking. It's pretty nice because every time you deal damage it has chance to come and help you and deal 2000 damage. It's a half storm strike. But else I don't really think that's... Azerite traits is a very new thing and we should probably test them first, and the most important thing is that you need to get your eye level first. So eye level is the meta, and after eye level you will think about the talents here. So if we go back here. Storm Strike marks the target as lightning conduit for 1 minute. Storm Strike deals 300 nature damage to all enemies you mark as conduits. So that means if you attack 3 targets with Storm Strike, every time you then attack one of them, everyone will take 400 damage. So on a cleave, you can say on a boss when you can cleave like the first boss in Warcraft manual, it's actually a quite cool talent, Azerite trait. But on a single target boss it would not really give any sense. Flame shock damage, increase the damage. Oh no, it's not for us. As you can see here, it's funny because it's like they don't want to have Azerite traits for Enhancement Shamans, because Resto got this one here, Elemental got this one here, everyone got this one here, but Enhancement got this one here. Dealing fire damage grant crit, dealing frost damage grant mastery, dealing nature damage grants haste. And I mean, do we even have... okay, we have frostbane, it's frost, but... so you can see we don't really have much Azerite traits. Rockbiter causes your next melee ability other than Rockbiter to deal additional 800 nature damage. This one here could also be cool enough if you have 3 items that actually give this one. Then, sorry, if you had this Azerite trait on 3 items, then I would probably go with Landslide, because then Landslide is a bit more important, and probably also Boulder Fist. So you could say Boulder Fist and Landslide together as 3 items of these could be a pretty cool combination. But yeah, Azerite trait is very new, so go for the items that is just highest eye level and think about Azerite traits later on, I would probably say. So I hope this guide helped you out with playing Enhancement Shaman. If you have any questions, please leave down a comment. If you have any things that you mean I'm saying wrong, leave down a comment, tell me what I'm saying wrong. Well, and else I can just say thanks you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this guide. Remember, I also have a Resto Shaman guide out, a Elemental Shaman guide, a Resto Druid guide, and a Balanced Druid guide. So yeah, so if you have any questions at all, leave down a comment. Else I can just say thanks you guys for watching, and well, like the video if you liked it. So peace out guys, and have a great evening.